Hey everyone, Mo here, and before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that my schedule has opened up for me to do coaching again. So if you're interested in private one-on-one coaching for me to help you, whether you're a newer player and you want to excel at the game very quickly and learn the fundamentals without developing any bad habits early, or if you're an experienced player who's already maybe platinum or diamond in your top 1%, but you need some help filling in the gap to get you to that 0.01%, to make you just some of the best, then hit me up on Discord and I can get you in some private one-on-one coaching lessons to help you polish up any skills you want to refine and help you learn all of the secrets to becoming a top player. That's it. I hope you enjoy the video. Hey everybody, Mo here, and today I'm bringing you guys another Meta Monday. So, this one's going to be kind of short because it covers almost all of the same decks from last week, and the meta really hasn't shifted too much, but there were a couple changes here and there, so I decided to make a full in-depth video instead of just a short one saying, hey, no change, see you guys later. But before we get into the Meta Monday for this week, I wanted to remind you guys that 72% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button if you do enjoy these Meta Mondays, if you do enjoy my deck guides, my educational content, my meme deck, stuff like that that's coming out, feel free to let me know down below what your favorite and leave a sub so you know whenever I post any of those videos. So that's it for the intro. Let's just jump into the Meta Monday. So, like I said, for the most part, you won't see any major changes, but there are a couple subtle changes that we'll go over here. So the first, we'll go over the non-major changes, go from top to bottom. And we still have Mono-Shurima on top as the most played deck in the game at 11.24%. So, basically, it's still just the most played deck in the game. 10% of your games are going to be against the Azir Xerath. Not much has changed. The deck is still really good as a 53 or 55% win rate here. But if you look at all of the top players, like this 80%, 79%, 78%, 75%, 74%. And these are over like a significant amount of games, right? Like 25 games, almost 50 games. Like this deck is really good on ladder. And honestly, if I were you and you just wanted to gain LP, Mono-Shurima is where it's at. This deck beats just about anything that isn't like hard aggro, like the Victor Riven, the Pirates, the Lulu Fizz, the Yordle Arms decks. It really just comes down to, are you against an aggro combo OTK style deck or against literally anything else? And if you're against literally anything else, then Azir Xerath Mono-Shurima is going to be the deck for you. Number 2 is Caitlyn Ezreal. So Caitlyn Ezreal has really exploded at win rate because it beats Zillion, which has also gotten really popular, as well as people think Caitlyn Ezreal does really well into like Yordle Arms, Pantheon. These other Pirates is another one that people think it beats. I personally don't think it beats Pirates. Here says it's 50-50. I think it's probably Pirates' favorite because Caitlyn Ezreal has no heal and Pirates just has so much burn that eventually what happens is the Pirate player just hits you a couple of times and then goes, okay, decimate, and you just can't really deal with it as the Caitlyn Ezreal player. Number 3 is Victor Riven. So again, Victor Riven mainly in here to go ahead and beat this Azir Xerath, our first aggro combo style deck. We see here the top win rates for this deck are insane. 77.5, 72, 73, 73, 72, 70 from Seku. Like, this deck's pretty silly. It beats a lot of the combo decks. It beats a lot of the other aggro decks you see here. Like, it does well into the Yordle Arms, the Pirates. Just decks that really cannot stop the combo of, oh, I give my something ambush and attack you. This deck is really good at it. Or even if they go, oh, I get my unit ambush and then I'm gonna give it overwhelm, then even the decks that do play random elusives, like the Fizz Lulu plays a random elusive, this plays random elusive with Misfortune Gangplank, stuff like that, then you're usually still just chilling because you just give your unit overwhelm and then their one elusive blocker is too small to do anything. Number 4, same thing as before, is Yordle Arms. So same idea here. Yordle Arms goes ahead and it beats the Azir Xerath. It beats all of the like really slow decks, but it loses to all these hard removal decks. Like it loses to the Caitlyn Ezreal apparently, stuff like that. So we see it lose to the Riven Victor itself because Riven Victor is just faster and bigger, but it will beat out the Zillion supposedly, Lisa and Victor, Ezreal Caitlyn, stuff like that. So just very solid aggro deck. It's not really on top anymore, but you see here the win rate is still, I think, the highest. Oh, it's the second highest in this top 8. It's the second highest in this top 8. It's second highest in the top 10.
being at 59.5% win rate, or sorry, being at 58% win rate, that's still really, really good. And like I've been saying since this patch happened, people are still sleeping on Yordle and Arms. And if you want a really good combo deck that you're probably familiar with, here you go. Coming in number 5 is Pirates Aggro. So I believe this is the highest win rate in the game right now, and it's probably really inflated from Team Hydra. So for those of you that don't know, in the America Shard, there's a Team Hydra as a Brazilian team, and basically all of them, I think there was like 4 or 5 of them that used Pirates to get to the front page, and they all used Pirates really early on when people weren't really expecting it, and they just dominated the ladder. I think at one point there were ranks like 3, 4, and 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5, or something like that, all just using Pirates. Pirates is really good. It destroys Sundisk, destroys like any type of slow deck, and of course you're Pirates, so if you're against any type of bad deck or bad player, you're an aggro deck, so you kind of just like spew your units out and hit them with like Decimated Fervors and stuff like that. Number 6 is Echo Zillion, 49% win rate. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about this deck, because personally, I have a really good win rate with Echo Zillion, and I've been doing really well with Echo Zillion. But apparently, this deck is really bad. Like, it has 49% win rate here. If you go to Drizzot's stats on his Twitter, he showed it had like a 46% win rate. A lot of these matchups that it says are bad matchups, I thought were quite fine. Like, I think Riven Victor is pretty fine, and Ziggs Lee is fine. Like, a lot of these matchups I find really fine. And I'm not really sure what the disconnect here is between Echo Zillion from like the average player compared to the top players like Simon, Broken Ball, stuff like that. Players of those caliber, where, you know, they tend to agree that the deck is just really strong, and I also, you know, from playing the deck, think it's really strong. But obviously the stats just aren't there with it. The stats don't believe it. So it's a very interesting deck. Can't wait to see how it shakes up depending on, or how it ends up depending on how many more people pick it up and master it and stuff like that, and see if the deck just goes up in win rate, down in rate, see if it gets better or not better. Number 7 is going to be Talia Ziggs. So Talia Ziggs, again, another combo deck to come in here and beat the Azir Xerath and lose to all of the other combo decks and stuff like that. This is very much like a, oh, I'm going to try and kill you with big overwhelm, you know, cheesy stuff like, oh, level Talia plus overwhelm, level Ziggs plus overwhelm, get a bunch of this OTK style in. We see here, it's really good into Azir Xerath, the Caitlyn Ezreal, these like just slower decks that you can just like OTK all the time. But it's really bad into all of the really fast aggro combo decks. So I personally would not be on the Talia Ziggs, because you lose to the exact same things that the Sundisk loses to, except you're just a worse overall deck. Like, you don't have the consistency in the polarization as Sundisk. So if you're already losing to the same matchups that Sundisk is losing to, I might as well just play Sundisk and go ahead and get these super polarized like 70% matchups and stuff like that. But that's what me personally. Maybe there's something else to this deck that it beats that I'm just not seeing, but so far all I'm seeing is, oh, loses to aggro, loses to aggro, loses to aggro, loses to aggro, loses to aggro. It's like, oh, look, more aggro. It's like, if you're gonna lose to aggro anyways, just go and play Sundisk, which is like the better version of the deck, or the better version of the matchup table. Okay, and coming in at number 8 is going to be Aphelios Victor. So Aphelios Victor PNZ. This was in the top 8 last week. We see here it's really good into all of the aggro style decks. It even beats the Caitlyn Ezreal deck. But you are going to lose to the Azir Xerath, Talia Ziggs, you know, FTR, stuff like that. But that FTR shouldn't be that big of a deal, or isn't that big of a deal right now. It's not too much played. But its deck looks like it beats a lot of stuff. And like I said, if it beats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it beats 5 out of the top 8 decks. Or I guess 5 out of the other 7 top 8 decks. It loses to, or it looks like it's just about even with Talia Ziggs, and slightly loses to Azir Xerath. This deck looks really, really good. As far as matchup wise goes, so maybe this is a deck to try out, especially if you do like Aphelios, if you do like these grindy matchups. You're on the double hush, you're on the aftershock, so you can try and have game against Mono-Shurima, stuff like that. So deck looks like it could be really, really good. So that's gonna be it for the top 8. I will leave you guys with a little special, because I've already gained a bunch of LP with the deck. So there's 2 decks here that didn't make top 8 that I would highly recommend playing. One is Scouts. Scouts has the second highest win rate, I believe. It has a higher win rate than Yaya even. So second highest win rate in the game. I wouldn't use this exact build. The build I've been using uses a couple of the shielded Durans to keep my Misfortune alive through the right of the Arcane. But overall, I mean, something like this is probably good enough, just a bunch of units. So I think Scouts is really, really, really good. We see Salty Simon here doing really well with it. Gems, Hydra. A bunch of people doing really, really well with Scouts. I've done really well with Scouts. I have over 70 games, and my win rate's like a 66% win rate or something like that, 67%. So very, very solid. And then the last deck I'll tell you guys is, oh, I saw it down here. Let me go back to stats. Masters. The last deck I'll tell you guys that is kind of sleeper right now is FTR, Field Rush. So I think, and if you don't believe me, if you think, oh, it might be a hoax, okay, this deck's a little bit different, but I probably like something like this that plays the She Who Wanders, that stairs, probably one of these more greedy lists. But let me show you my stats with Field Rush so far. Look, I have an 80% win rate over my last 15 games. Like, look at all this blue. Look at all that blue right there. Okay, so Field Rush doing really, really good. I'll leave a link to my profile down below, so if you want to grab my Field Rush deck, make sure to leave a follow on my channel, grab the Field Rush deck, stuff like that. Would really appreciate it. So I think Field Rush is extremely slept on right now. Yes, you lose to Mono-Shurima, but hey, guess what? Everything loses to fucking Mono-Shurima, so it doesn't matter if you lose to Mono-Shurima. Even this game, actually, fun fact, against Mono-Shurima this game, I should have won, but I don't know the Emperor's deck, and I didn't know they played a card that obliterated 3 units. If I would have open attacked, I would have won the game, but instead I went for a second Field Rush, and they blew me out of the water with this, like, obliterate 3 champion card thing. And I didn't know that thing existed, but if I would have known the Emperor's deck, I have the game in the bag. So even the Mono-Shurima deck matchup isn't absolutely doomed, because you do have many ways to kill the Xerath. So even if they flip Sundisk, if they don't have Deny in their hand from like before they flip the Sundisk, you could usually still just get to a point where you go, okay, play Eledros Atrocity, and they like can't deal with that. So if you can just remove the Xerath is the only important thing, which this my version plays, of course, triple plays triple Vengeance and a Piercing Darkness and like 2 Ruinations. So there's usually a point where you can remove the 2 to even sometimes 3 Xerath if you absolutely need to, and then it gets to the late game, you can just go like Ledros Astro and they can't really deal with that. You can play the Field Rush and it's pretty good into them, but if you don't have that, you could just do Ledros. Oh, okay. Thanks for the follow. I'll let this guy know I'm here. Thanks for the follow. You'll be in today's Meta Monday. There you go. Everybody, shout out Saga Story. There you go. But yeah, so highly recommend picking out FTR. It has been doing absolute wonders for me. It's gained me, I think, like 200 or so LP just in like a couple hours of playing the deck. Very, very, very good stuff. So that's gonna be it for this Meta Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below letting me know what videos you want to see this week. I have 1 deck guide planned and 1 meme deck planned, but other than that, I don't really have any other decks planned. So if you have an idea of something you want to see for a deck guide, let me know down below. If you enjoyed the meme decks or the fun decks, let me know that down below, because those are a lot easier to make than deck guides. And then go ahead and join my Discord so you get notification whenever I post anything or whenever I do giveaways. I'll be giving away some, I believe I have some flame skins to give away or something like that for this week or this month for LPP. So I'll be doing giveaways for those flame skins on my Discord. Make sure to go and join that. And then that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next video.